Galactic Day again. This is Universe. I am your source for today's video. In this video, we are going to be talking about becoming a Blizzard King, aka King Frost, aka Old Man Winter. So we're going to get into the science of why you should know how to conjure the mindset and the powers and the wisdom that comes with being a Blizzard King. So what I mean by that, becoming a Blizzard King comes with endless benefits in the right situations, because it could cause you to lose a lot as well. So of course we're going to first start off by talking about the emotional spectrum of being a Blizzard King. Now, growing up as a child, we're kind of conditioned into wearing our heart on our sleeves. Most of us, depending on what kind of parents you had, their environment. If you grew up in a halfway loving household, or you had a few people around you growing up that actually loved you, you kind of been indirectly, subconsciously, trained to wear your heart on your sleeve. Just be a genuinely good person. I mean, I could say about 90%, 95% of people haven't just been raised just to be a very evil-hearted, destructive person. Most of us anyway. So, becoming a Blizzard King, it helps you in so many different ways, especially on the emotional spectrum. It helps you with relationships, friendships, and just dealing with people, because if your emotions are out of control, you can never truly elevate to the apex version of yourself, because your emotions have trigger points. It might be a person, a smell. It could be some words that, excuse me. It could be some words that someone spoke to you, and maybe, every time you think about those words, it make you emotionally break down, or it breaks your, you just concentrating, So being a Blizzard King, it freezes out all of that. And first things first, before we even get into that, it's way easier said than done. We hear it all the time. We see people get their feelings hurt, heartbroken, or, they lose their job, or maybe, they fall out with one of the, their best friends, or whatever the case might be. And they just off rip just think that, okay, I'm fed up, enough is enough. And they just kind of go into, a tantrum, or they kind of shut down. Most people can't really do that, not that easily. Most people, you got to go through something 4, 5, 6 times. You got to be disappointed, or even if they do go through it, and the first time they turn into Blizzard mode or Frost King, is because there was a very, very, very deeply, devastating situation. So maybe they tapped into the Arctic a lot faster than, the average or the ordinary person, depending on what may trigger you or how that affects you. So back to the emotional spectrum. Controlling your emotions with temperament. Think about this. They talk about, oh, you got a bad temper. What is the root word of temperature? Is temper. That's the root word of it, if you look at it from a scientific, metaphysical standpoint. So, meaning, how someone, they get mad, they're like, boy, I'm hot. Yeah, you get hot when it's time to turn up. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get cold, it don't move you. Think about that. A lot of people would never achieve this right here, being a Frost Giant, being a Blizzard King. It takes time, man. It takes discipline. But you got to know how to control it, because you don't want to be so removed from your emotions that now you can't have a good relationship or a good marriage, or you can't have friendships. Every time someone actually show you true, genuine love, you want to push them away. That's you don't want to. It shouldn't be something that consumes you. It's a balance to it. Just like how you got seasons in the year: winter, autumn, spring, fall. That don't mean you just totally just turn into a cold-blooded individual year-round, 365, 24/7. You got to know how to turn it on and off. When you're dealing with people in everyday, life in the world, the work job, or if you run your own business, whatever you might, have going on, you definitely need to keep a couple ice cubes in your pocket. Because you're going to be tested probably until the day you die. People going to be, say for instance, someone might trigger you, and you might be in the right, or might want to, knock their head off, or just cutting them off, or just going off on them. But when you turn up, that frostbite, it don't affect you. And after you do that, a couple times, people, they will start looking at you in a different, light, because they don't mean, oh, you turn the other cheek every chance you get. Because you can still, let me tell you this. One thing that I like about being a Frost King, what's one of the, I guess you could say, prizes that comes with that cold-blooded stare, that deep, dark look in your eyes. That's what comes with it. So it's one of those things where, they know what time it is, because they could feel how cold you are, and they can see it in your eyes. You don't have to argue with them. You don't have to get all emotional and bent out of shape. Now you got your natural element. Like, now you might end up doing something that you regret. You have to be stoic. You have to be poised. You have to be still and deadly. Just like the winter. Those really, really cold, dark nights. It's a blizzard, the wind blowing. It could be snow on the ground. And it's just dark, and it's just cold, and it's just a big abyss. Nothing can stop it. So you got to get that in your head. Once you get to the level where no one could trigger you to the point where you erupting like a volcano, because you be turned into a blizzard king. Now, we touched a little bit on the emotional side. Now, we're going to start getting into, dealing with people in everyday life, how harnessing this mental status, it could literally help you achieve a lot of things in life. Because the same stuff that might move some of your coworkers or your boss or a friend or someone in your family is not going to move you, because you understand and staying cold, staying, cold-blooded and stoic, being still and not reacting so fast. You understand in due time you're going to get where you need to go. But someone who's not stoic, someone who's not cold-blooded like that, they're going to get tricked out of their position. They're going to blow up and erupt like a volcano. You see what I'm saying? They're going to go off. They're going to say the first thing that's on their mind. They're going to do the first thing that they feel like they need to do, and now the emotions done probably destroyed them or hindered them for a little while in their life journey. But by you being so cold-blooded with it, you already know what time it is. You expecting it. You understand what I'm saying? You ready for the BS. You ready for someone to just try you like that. But after they see how cold-blooded you are, that you're a real true Blizzard King, and they see that deep, dark, cold look in your eyes, then they gonna know, oh, okay, Let me chill out. Let me respect him, or let me respect her. You see what I'm saying? Because they going to know what they always say. It's not the loudest person in the room you got to worry about. It's always the quiet ones. So if you quiet and you stoic and you just listening, and the way you talk when you're a Blizzard King, your actions literally speak for you. I know we hear that a lot, but I'm literally meaning your actions literally speak for you. So now they understand when it comes to dealing with you, everything they say and do, there will be a consequence. A cold-blooded, deadly consequence. It's just like you look at the vampires. They cold-blooded. They're quiet. They're deadly. 99.9% of the time when they kill their victims, the victims don't even see or hear them. And if they do, that's because they allow them to. See, being a Blizzard King and becoming cold-blooded, it's not just about being stoic. It's not just about controlling your emotions. It's about being in tune with your environment. It's about when you're talking to somebody, you control the energy in the room. So if somebody coming at you with their BS, it could get dark real soon. Now, this definitely is going to take some time because you don't want to overuse it. And you don't want to push away the people that actually really genuinely love and care about you. And there's stages to this as well. You don't just go from being normal to becoming a Blizzard King, to becoming cold-blooded. This takes time. You got to go through stuff. Sacrifices. You got to have the wisdom. You got to have experience. Something that a lot of people really don't want to go through. But that's the problem. A lot of people want a lot of wisdom. A lot of people want a lot of knowledge. But they do not want to go through what it takes to get that. They just expect for it just to fall in their lap. And that's not how it works in the real world. You got to get out there, that cold, that darkness, and you got to become one with it. You have to. That's the only way you're going to be able to use that, is you become one with it. You know what they say, if you can't handle the heat, you know what I'm saying, get out of the kitchen. But with this, it's the opposite way around. You know, you turn into Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Literally, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. The more you start tapping into this type of way of thinking, I promise you, the easier it will be to deal with people. The easier it will be to read people. And I bet you your relationships will get better. And the ones that don't need to be around, they won't be around for long anyway. Because usually when you are cold-blooded, usually when you are a Frost King, a Blizzard King, a lot of people don't like the fact that you're not going to put up with just anything. Because you have standards. You understand what I'm saying? You have boundaries. You have that it's respect over everything type of mindset. And a lot of people don't like that. You need and you want respect at all times. Usually it's the older people that kind of tap into this. Very few people young, like teenagers, people that's in their 20s or even in their early 30s, you know. Most people, you know what I'm saying, don't tap into this until maybe, I said they mid-30s, probably about 40, early 40s. Because you got to go through something. This comes with going through shit. This don't come from reading books. This don't even come from just listening to me on YouTube. You got to go through stuff. You have had to deal with people from multiple different archetypes, from the low to the high extremes. You got to start imputing information a certain type of way to start developing that type of mindset. Because it's not for the weak. The first thing I learned when I started developing this mindset, I can't keep on wearing my heart on my sleeve. I used to look at myself as, oh, the king of hearts. I had to slow down on that. Only selected few people get that side. But for the most part, the world, they get the Blizzard King. They get the Frost King. They get the cold-blooded one. And that's not even saying it in a bad way. That just means you're not going to allow stuff that you go through every day, the ups and downs that life throws at you, the stress that life gives you. You're not going to let that destroy you, and you're not going to be thinking about that for hours, for days, for weeks, and for months. You're not going to let the average things stress you out like how the average person does. You try to talk to a girl and she was like, oh, no, I'm good for whatever reason. Okay, cool, thank you. Not no, damn, why you don't like me? What's going on? Or you keep on trying to chase someone that clearly don't like you the same. Or you not having the best of luck with jobs, but it might be your calling to go ahead and start your own business. But you're not seeing it because you're not cold enough to say, fuck it, let me step out here and drop my nuts and let me go ahead and try something on my own. Let me see what this gets me. You're not ready to step in that cold wilderness of the abyss. You could place it, you comfortable. To develop this right here, you have to be in a state of being uncomfortable for periods of time. You have to sacrifice to get this right here. Well, I definitely will be dropping a part 2. My name is Universe, and I am your source for today's video.